live. So I am just setting up my little tripod here. I'm gonna set you down and we're gonna, install some frets. I've already done one neck, which is completed. And I'm just gonna set up here and you know what? I should get my laptop to see if you guys are commenting. So let me go get that. I'll be right back in 1 second, if I can find it. Oh yeah. Probably. All right. Just so I can read comments. Yeah, let's see. What is my password to get into this thing? Sorry, I'm not prepared. I just kind of decided to go live here while I'm doing some guitar frets. I just gotta log into my laptop and then I can read your comments. We got 6 people watching. That's cool. It's nice out today. It's really nice outside. And I have 3 necks that I need to fret. Well, this one here, I'm almost done with it. I have this one. This has to get, I have to radius the fingerboard. I have to install frets, glue them up, and then we're gonna do some fret jobs. I already did this one here. Let's finish setting up your device. What? I don't want to do that. I just want to read the comments. Skip for now. How come this isn't working? I can't see anything on this computer. Yeah, I already finished this neck as far as leveling the fretboard, radiusing the fretboard, and installing and gluing in the frets. We're going to do the same thing for the next 2 necks. All right, skip for now. This is a touchscreen, isn't it? I have no idea. Is there a mouse for this thing or what? Well, this ain't gonna work. I need to be able to read you guys' comments. I can't, like this, there's no mouse cursor. Yeah, give me a minute. Sorry. I know there's 9 people watching. I'll be right back. Pretty sure I have a mouse for this. Maybe I have to restart it. Let's try that. All right, whatever. I'm just going to try to restart the computer. Of course, when I want to, oh, there we go. Okay, it's firing back up. Okay, so right now, I'm just installing the fret wire, 6, and I'm short one for some reason. I'm gonna have to put you on this side. So I have already cut these frets. I'm sure that's annoying, but it has to be done. Okay, I should be able to log in now. I'll be able to read your comments here in a minute. Yes, all right, we want YouTube. Store pages, nah. There we go. I don't know what account I'm logged into, so we'll have to figure that out as we go. I don't even think I'm logged in at all. All right, let's log in. I haven't used this laptop in quite a while. Choose an account. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's really nice outside here in Denver, in the Denver area today. I have to remember my password. What? I have no idea what my password is. Great. Let's try this one. Nope. Oh boy. Give me 1 second. Hey, I got it. All right. It's logging in. Yes, update the password. Hey, look at that. Live. 7 watching. Now I can read your comments. I have to dislike my own video as always. And yeah. Hey, there we go. Let me turn the volume down. All right. Let me check the comments. Coast Bard, hello brother, what's up? Nick Kaler, what's up man? Good vibe coming from Pennsylvania, what's up man? Fred King from Florida. Michael Sturgill, these look amazing. Gear M. DeLange, hello, what's up man? Remember to press the like button. That is correct, thanks dude. Nick Kaler, what's up dude? Good vibes from Pennsylvania. Deb A, my favorite parts, the frets. Send that nice weather this way. It's cold in Virginia. And Coast Bard says, I have a PRS, a Fender Strat, and 2 acoustics. Oh, you need to add a Klesh to your arsenal. Yeah, dude. All right, I want to do a pop-out chat here so it's easier for me to see. Then I can work. Get that under there. Hey, what's up, Anthony White? Hey, bud, how you been? Doing good, man. But yeah, just installing some guitar frets here in this. Well, this guitar here is the maple peghead veneer, zirconia fingerboard, and it's a maple neck. Then I already carved the necks yesterday on all of them. As you can see, I carved them. I rough carve them basically. So I, on the sander. I put it, I basically bring this part down to the thickness I like, and then I finish carving with my DA sander. So, yeah. All right. All right, let's get to work here. That fingerboard is beautiful. Yeah, it is. I agree. I have a couple more just like it that I resawed when I made this one. So when, first of all, if you don't want to deal with hammering and loud noises, you're going to have to leave the channel because there's going to be a lot of it for this show. I still have one more fret to cut. I missed one somehow. I don't know. Whoops. This has to go perfectly in there. I'll show you the whole process on that next neck. I have to bend frets and everything. Here I ran out. Okay, we need one more, and I have an extra piece like right about there. That'll work. Okay, once the frets are all hammered in, I like to look down it and look for high frets. Like this one right here, I can see that it's popping up more than the rest. Basically, I want to make sure they're all seated perfectly. This one, I think it's the same one I just looked at. There we go. This one here is up a little bit more. And then I also like to tap check this out. So when I cut these frets, I leave them a little bit longer for two reasons. One, it's easier to cut them later, because if they're too short, then it's too hard to grab them with the trimmers. Another reason is when I drip super glue, it wicks the super glue away from the guitar body and into the garbage can, and you'll see that process in a minute. And the third reason is right here. I'll show you. Did I say two reasons? I meant three reasons. Once I have everything hammered in, I just like to tap each one to seat it down, because what I like to do before I install the frets, and you'll see it on this next neck, is when I'm leveling the board, I like to round over that corner, because it's a sharp, especially on like zirconia, well, any wood really, but zirconia is like real splitty and sharp and splintery. But if I round that over, it makes it nice and smooth. And then when I'm done, I go like this, just barely. It seats those edges down. I'm just letting the weight of the hammer do it. I'm not forcing it, I'm just letting the weight of the hammer with this brass piece on the back do the work. That part is done. The next thing we want to do is oil this board. So I have, let's see. This is the stuff that I use. I don't know if you can read that. It's the Dunlop fingerboard, the number 2 deep conditioner. I do this before oiling. That way the oil doesn't wick into the wood, into the fingerboard. It kind of slides off the top of the fingerboard, and it's easier to clean up later. Besides, I need to oil this thing later anyway. Wow, that's a dry piece of wood. That's good. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing good today. It is really nice outside. I keep saying that. I had to go to the store for Heather. She's making pay dirt bags, and she didn't have time to go grocery shopping for dinner tonight. So she asked if I could go to the store and do some grocery shopping. So that was fun. That's what I did. Okay, so now we're gonna remove this. We'll let it soak for a while, maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll wipe off. We'll wipe that stuff off, and we'll start on the next. We'll start on the next one. So let me get you over here so you can see what's going on. All right, let me check the comments real quick. All right, yeah, it's worth every second of the loud noises. What's for dinner? So she's making some kind of mushroom. Like, I had to buy like some Guinness beer because she's using that to cook. I don't know exactly what she's cooking. Some kind of like mushroom chicken or something like that. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm just thinking again before I take this off of here. Do I have any more steps to do? No, I don't. We take this off. This is a little jig I invented here. Basically, in order to attach a neck to this thing here, this is for doing frets, and these keep a steady pressure on the back of the neck, an equal pressure on the back of the neck. These are movable up and down, right? I just built this from Home Depot parts and stuff. But I had trouble figuring out, okay, so how do I attach the neck to this thing, right? So all I did is I just took a piece of plywood, and basically I drill the plywood right into the back of the heel of the guitar, and then take that piece of wood and screw it down to the jig itself. So I have to unscrew this. Try not to get oil everywhere. Okay, I'll set this off to the side and we'll get the next one. Okay, this one here. First of all, we'll reset these pins. This is a black Limba peg head with ebony fingerboard. So we're going to install that. I like to bring this one up so it doesn't keep falling on me. All right, we'll install this. What are you guys doing today? What is today? Tuesday, right? In the United States, it's Tuesday. At this hour. Now I have a center line on each neck, and these pins, they're not directly in the center of this piece of teak that I installed them in. It's off to the right, so my center line is a little bit off. And I don't know why I did that when I built the thing. It's not that big of a deal. As long as the neck is supported, it'll be fine. So I don't want it to be back that far. Right there is good. All right. Yeah, I was just sitting here, standing here, listening to music, and like the CD finished, and I was like, all right, it wasn't a CD, it was a recording, and it finished, and I was like, all right, what do I listen to next? And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go live. I haven't gone live on this channel in a long time, as far as I can remember. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm just bringing these pins up with one hand and then tightening it. Make sure that it's seated down so when I press on it, it doesn't flex. That's the whole idea. Definitely don't want them pushing up on it. And you'll see why this is important in just a second here. Okay, so now we're ready to radius the board. That means, so this block here, it's a 12-degree radius. That means when it's basically a cup shape on the bottom with sandpaper. And then when I sand it, it's gonna make the fingerboard have that radius. So these are little radius gauges. I'm going 12 the whole way down for all three of these necks. That's what I like. So that, you can see a gap under there. Well, you can't, but I can. So basically all we have to do, mark these fingerboards. This is just a white grease pencil. Mark it up, and then we can sand it. I was sweating from the last one. Man, there's, okay, so let me see if you can see that. I'll zoom in a bit on the work so you can kind of follow along what's going on. Nope. There we go. All right, so I just went over it a few times with that radius block, wherever it is, here it is. And you can see that like this area and this area have been sanded off. Everything else is still there, which means that these two things are the highest, and I gotta keep going. I'm just gonna focus on this area. Ebony is like one of the hardest woods on the planet, but you can see now we're getting further. So basically we just keep going until all those white lines are gone. Also, sorry for not posting any videos in the past couple days. I've been kind of focusing on building these three guitars, going back and redoing steps and rewriting and erasing stuff in my book and just like organizing the different steps that I want to take when I build these things. So I wasn't really concentrating on making videos, you know. Although there will be videos explaining how I'm doing all this stuff at some point. I could go live more often too. All right, we're making some progress now. Okay, I felt this thing move. It's all right. Okay, we're making progress. We're clean all the way up to here. Right here, I got a few white lines, like right there, here, 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 here. So, just gotta keep going. Get the air compressor broken. All right, we're making a little more progress each time. Oh, all right, let's see what the comments are saying. Yeah, Anthony, just relaxing, going for my pyro shooter's license tomorrow. Awesome, dude. Coast says my last day of COVID quarantine. Getting ready for work tomorrow. All right. Did you travel or were you sick or? That's cool. Deb says I work from home. I know I live a wild and crazy. Hey, so do I, Deb. If you consider this work, I don't really. This is my hobby. That off-grid life. What's up, Klesh? What's going on, dude? Please go live all the time. I could do that. Michael says, no worries, your videos are always worth waiting for. Thanks, man. All right. All right, so we still have quite a bit to go. If I focus more down here, see, the thing is, you don't really want to go back and forth, because then I'm sanding this part, the middle, twice as much as the ends. And then you get some kind of a dip thing going in the middle. So you'll see me going like a couple times here, up, a couple times here, back, a couple times here. But I'm gonna do like double the amount down here than I do for the rest of the board, just to kind of clean this up a little bit more. And if there is a down ramp right here, it's not a big deal. It's actually a good thing. So when I'm leveling the frets, sometimes you intentionally put a little ramp right there to keep the strings from buzzing on these higher frets. But if I can make it perfectly level, that's ideal. But stop talking and start working, right? Okay. That, I am good with that. Okay. All right. So now that we have it radiused, okay, this is a radius gauge to check to make sure. And there should be no air gaps, and that is perfect. I just slide forward, and you can see, maybe you can't see because of the lighting right there, but there's no gap, right? So that is a 12-inch radius. We're actually done with this now. I'm gonna go hang this up. And the thing is, there's like different companies that sell these crazy machines to radius fingerboards and all that. I don't need any of that. And nobody, I mean, you really don't. Like these necks on the sander, when I'm carving the necks on the sander, I just turn it around like this and give it a slight radius by hand, just by eye, and then finish it up with the radius block. And it works great. So, all right, here I have some 220 sandpaper, because there's really no grit on it. I should change that. Sorry. I'll move you over here so you can see what's happening. Yeah, that's gonna keep closing on me. Zoomed in. Oh, there we go, that's why. All right. Sorry for the terrible camera work, but I'm sure you understand. All right, so this stuff here, it's sticky back tape, 220 grit, and it does last a really long time. This is the first time I'm changing this paper in 4 necks. This is the 4th neck. So let's see if it peels nicely. Yeah, it does. I never had to peel that off yet. That's great. There's a little bit of scudge on the bottom there. I need a razor blade. Oh, there's one right there. So I'm gonna clean up any kind of stuff. It has to be perfectly level. Okay. That's good. All right. Yeah, okay. It's just a piece of steel that I flattened out. I found it when I was working in the coal mines in Pennsylvania about 10 years ago. There we go. Okay. Now, make sure you can see what I'm doing. We'll go back over to this angle. And it's going to be the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. Let me zoom back a little bit so you can see what's going up. Hey, John Mazzoni. Hey, Shane, love your videos. I watch every single one. Keep making great content. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching my shows. And hey, Mud Swat, what's going on? Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the grease pencil. I got to sharpen this. I'll take you over to my fancy pencil sharpener. All right. All right, now we're gonna level the fingerboard, because with this radius block, I was going a lot here, here and here. It's gonna be wavy this way on the y-axis. So now I take this thing and just make sure that it's perfectly flat. This is where these pins in the back really matter. Okay. All right. Like I said before, I'm trying to make not trying to make a little ramp, but down here, it is lower. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that into consideration right now. I'm just gonna sand a little miniature ramp. This is 220 grit sandpaper. It's not very, it's not very aggressive at all. So it's kind of just polishing what I've already done. But it also shows me, it lets me know if this thing is level or not. And it does look very level. Okay. I don't know what's up with that. Is that? Oh, that is some deep scratches right there. Don't know how they got there, but I can see some white grease pencil in there. I'll try to take care of that right now. Actually, it doesn't really matter because in the next couple steps, that's going to go away. So is this up here. All right. Okay, so I would consider this fretboard leveled. Okay, clean it off. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the first neck I did was this maple one. Then I did the zircony, and then I did the darkest, the ebony. It's just to keep my sandpaper clean, because if I would have done this first, I would have been dealing with this for all three necks. Still not done. We still have to do those few little steps I explained earlier. So that is super smooth. It's even got some like figure in it that I didn't notice before. That's awesome. All right. So now I'm going to take this, and like I said before, I round over this sharp edge, because right now, if I was to take my fingers and push a little bit and run my fingers down, I would slice my fingers. That's how sharp that edge is. So I'm just going to evenly round it over. This. Yeah. Now it has like just a slight little round over. And that'll translate over to when, the person's playing the guitar. So that's important to get rid of that, because this is almost a finished fingerboard. Do the same thing for both sides. And then also down here, right here, I like to do it as well. Yeah, 21 people watching. I can't believe it. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Let me try to get some better footage of what's going on here. So, move up a little bit. Oh, yeah, Mud SWAT. Add moderator. You got it, man. Okay. Thank you, Mud SWAT. I appreciate that. So, now, these are also sharp. Top, sides, edges, bottom, everything. So I just take the sandpaper, and that's pretty much it for those edges. Now, I just want to knock the edge off. I guess that means the same thing, right? See, it's not rounded over. I'm just knocking the uncomfortable part off. Okay. All right, and then I also like to give it an added, just underneath the fretboard, underneath the edge there, just in case there's any like little doodads hanging off the bottom or whatever. All right. That is good. All right, now we get to install frets. Hey, Coin Dragon. All right. Hey, man. Who else is here? Robert Caldwell is here. What's up, man? Finally catch you live. Hi from the Philippines. What's up, man? Gonzalez. And Coin Dragon, hey, it's a Klesh Guitar stream. What's going on, man? What did John say? Super high power pencil sharpener, yeah. Yeah, that is the best pencil sharpener I've ever owned. So do you always make 3 at a time? Are you keeping them? Yes, I'm keeping them just so I can improve the next ones that I make, right? So let me take the camera. Be prepared for some dizziness, all right? All right, I'll try not to swing the camera around too much. So yes, I'm making 3 guitars in this run. I'll put my hand in the screen as I turn so you have something to focus on so you don't. Okay, so we could actually, oh man, look how much oil that thing soaked up. I was gonna wipe it off in 10 minutes, but it's like almost dry. Yeah, so let me show you the progress on the bodies. And yes, I'll be keeping these so I can learn from my mistakes for the actual guitars that I build. These are prototypes, just so I can relearn how to build guitars, right? So these are all getting matching control cavity covers, right? Here's a black limbo one, goes in that one. I tried to line up the lines and stuff, but this is a totally different piece of black limbo. You can see right here, the color doesn't even match. So that's basically firewood. And then this one here, this is an ash. These are 1/4 inch thick, and that goes in like that. And then I'm going to be inlaying magnets into the back of these things, and then I'm going to screw in a small stainless steel screw into these 3 sections here. So then when I put it in there, it just clicks together, no screws, just seamless, and that's how I want them. I want them nice, right? So yeah, I did a lot of carving on this one here. You can see from the front now it's got these carves right in here. So you can see from the front, you can see the black, green, black veneer from the front. Yeah, this is Succubus number 11 here. It doesn't look that great right now because it's not finished, but trust me, when this guitar has finish on it, which will be this week, it's gonna look completely way cooler. So this is the asp. I've got a nice carve going on the top here. I took a lot off, so you can see the inlays over here. It's a green and black veneer on a black limba. Stainless steel screws are not magnetic. Let's find out, because if you're right, I thought steel was magnetic. Let's find out. So here's my idea. I'll go over here to my setup bench. Screws, unsorted, small. I should have some stainless steel ones in here. Yeah, here we go. So this is a stainless steel screw, this little guy here. Okay, if they're not magnetic, then that's great, because then I can cancel my order, because I just ordered them today. Let's set it over here. These are the magnets I plan on inlaying. Okay. Let's make sure that that's stainless steel. I have, hold on a second. Put this back before I forget. Mr. Pilot, can I do a video on my gold and silver collection? Yeah, I have to go out to the bank and if you wanted to see everything, I'd have to go to the safety deposit to the bank and get everything. All right, here, these are stainless steel, for sure, right? Oh, you're right. They're like slightly magnetic. Okay, great. I will cancel that order. Thanks for letting me know. That would have been a terrible surprise. I mean, it wouldn't have been a very bad thing, because I could just unscrew the bad ones and reinstall good ones, right? But, all right. Let's wipe off that excess oil. Here, sorry for the drunk camera. Basically, I'm just going to wipe that off just to get any little puddles off of there. We don't really want that, right? And we're going to go ahead and super glue. So let me get my tripod. That way when we super glue this while we're installing the frets on the other one, it'll be drying, right? Okay. So here's how I install frets. This is the one we just finished. Put the oil on it. I like to sit down like this. And I have this special tip on my super glue. I let it run through the fret slot until it drips through the other side. As soon as it drips through, I know that the super glue has gone all the way through. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you. 31 people watching this? Wow. Here, you can look at my trash can. There you go. Why does it seem like it's not focusing? Okay. Okay, we'll try that again. I don't think it's dripping through the other side. There it is. You can see the drips underneath. Trying my best to not let it get on the fretboard. Even though I have to clean the entire fretboard anyway after this, it's nice to not have to scrape any or chase any super glue. It just makes things a lot easier to do it this way. Refretting, like doing a refret on somebody's instrument is different because I don't have the advantage of, working with raw wood or anything like that, because this is all going to get resanded and finished and everything. So you guys will see how nice these frets turn out if you stick around. I don't know how long it's going to take. I used to be able to do one fret job in 45 minutes. So I got 3 to do. I don't know if I'm going to stay alive that long. I don't know if I'm going to even finish them. And then I like to bang this real quick. And you see the super glue. Excess super glue goes off, and then it's nice and clean, right? So that one is glued. We just have to let it dry. And you can see here on the back, there's no ugly drips going around. Everything kind of stays on those overhangs of those frets. That was like reason number 2 why you keep them long. Okay, so we'll set this down. And you get to be drunk again for a minute. I can readjust it. There we go. All right, now we get to install frets in this guy. But before we do that, I need to radius some fret wire. So I'll show you how I do that. Let me tighten this thing up. It seems to be loose. There we go. Okay, we can move this guy out of the way. All right, we need fret wire. So, I have some right here. I'm using, what is this? Number 150 from StewMac, the wide highest fret wire. So I need about 2 of these to do one guitar neck with 24 frets. So there's 1, 2. I'll show these up close so you can see what it looks like if you're interested in knowing what fret wire looks like up close. So, okay, let's see if I can show you here in the end. So you can see it's shaped kind of like a mushroom. I don't know if I can get the angle on it right. Okay. Anyway, it's got these little, I don't know what they're called, these little pointy things here on the tang. This bottom part is called the tang. And when I hammer that into the fretboard, the fret slots themselves are at the exact thickness. They're just wide enough so that that tang, when I pound it in there, those little pieces of metal are going to grab onto it, preventing the fret wire from popping up and out. The super glue is still necessary, because if you didn't super glue it, you're going to have popping frets. So yeah, now, since we radiused this fretboard, we need to radius the fret wire. So that's what this little machine is right here. This is the fret wire radiusing tool. Basically, you just take the fret wire, feed it in, tang up, and then it radiuses your fret wire for you. Do both of these, and then we can start cutting our fret wire. I'll check the comments here in a second. Thanks for sticking around, people. I know it's like a Tuesday during work hours and stuff. You guys, and it's really nice out, at least here in Denver. There's all kinds of stuff to be doing outside. But if you're here watching, I appreciate it. Let's cut these. I'll show you what I do here. Put you at this angle's probably the best for this. Something like that. Okay, that'll work. All right. This is my little fret wire holder. It's numbered from 1 to 24. These are my choppers. And then I like to go, let's see. See that overhang where I'm pinching it there? That's about the overhang I want for every fret. Pardon me. All right. So for each one, that's the 24th fret. That goes in number 24. And so on. I'll work from this side. All right, let me check some comments here while I'm... Is this thing on? It's covered in dust. I guess it's not on. Oh, okay. It shut off because I was inactive on it. To save energy. All right, let's read some comments. Okay, let me scroll up. There's a bunch of questions here I see. All right. Stainless steel screws are not magnetic. Some are, not all steel is magnetic. Mud Swat said. Deb A, newbie question, why can't you use the piece you cut out as the cover piece? Yeah, so normally what I like to do, I know what she's talking about. Let me take you on a tour. Put my hand in the screen so you don't get dizzy. These are all the cutoffs, okay, of those guitars. Right now it's in a bucket. I'm gonna be selling these on eBay as exotic wood scraps, right? Just to pay for the electric bill. Like this. This is ash, right? So I did cut out a piece to basically, like this is mahogany. I would cut, 3/8 inch of it off on my bandsaw here, like long ways. And then I would trace out that control cavity cover and then sand it down by hand. And the thing is, the black limba wasn't quite wide enough. So I had to use a different piece that I had stored up here that was close enough. So, or no, that was the mahogany. The mahogany, I had to actually go over to that same board, which is sitting over there. Or no, it's not. I'm building a third guitar with that. Anyway, yeah, I didn't have enough mahogany, so I had to go and start a fourth guitar to get scraps to make the cover plate for it. The black Limba isn't quite long enough this way. Like, this is cut out to this shape, but you see, the grain has to be going that direction too, so I couldn't have done it there. I'm keeping this piece just for like truss rod covers or something. All right. Next question. Let's see. That is sick. Mr. Pilot, hey Shane, can you do a video on your gold and silver collection? Yes, at some point. Spencer Prospecting, all three looks beautiful, very good work. I bet they will be awesome. Can't wait to hear them. Yeah, they'll be good, but they're not going to be like production models yet. These are just, again, they're just prototypes. I'm just relearning. Peter Valentine, stainless is less magnetic. Quality steel is not magnetic, or is it the other way around? Okay. Okay. I'm just reading the comments here. I think I see gold in the trash can. You never had super glue work on anything. Huh. It's dripping through, no need to fret. That is correct. All right. What is that steel thing you have in your guitar neck? So, okay, that's a good question. So he's talking about, what is this thing, right? What is that thing? That is called a truss rod. This is what they look like before they're installed. Okay. It is basically it is two separate, there's a flat bar on top and a round bar at the bottom. They're welded at this side, and this has an Allen key in the end, and when you turn it, it opens, it tightens it up so that they separate. And what that does when it's installed underneath your fingerboard is it bends your neck slightly. So when you hit a string on your guitar, the string rotates, not that big, but very minutely it rotates. And when you have that, it's called relief in your neck, it allows the string to rotate without buzzing and hitting on the frets and splatting out. Good question. No need to fret. Dad jokes. To control action of the string so it doesn't buzz. Correct. I like to play them, but seeing how they're made is just awesome. Highly satisfying. Oh, that's good to know. Satisfying is like the key word on YouTube. If it's not satisfying, then don't do it. Hey, Donovan Dagenhart is late, but you're here, and I'm just getting started. All right. Slick technique. Thank you. Super tedious. It is kind of tedious, but the thing is, when you do it a million times, it really doesn't become tedious. It's more satisfying than tedious, to be honest with you. Yeah. Late to the party, but I brought beer. I had to go buy beer at the store today for whatever she's making for dinner tonight. Ever made a mini guitar for laughs, but fully functional? Well, building a mini guitar wouldn't be for laughs, just because there's basically for every guitar that I have to first build the templates for each guitar. So if I was to make a mini guitar, not only would I have to make another template, but I would also have to make another template for the neck because the scale length would be different. Like this is for 6-string guitars, right? I have little notes on there yelling at myself, don't do this, don't do that. And these all have to be rebuilt with new center lines and stuff. Like this is an 8-string guitar neck. That's a 7-string guitar neck. And then if I was to build a mini guitar, I would have to build, whatever scale length it is and build the template and then build all the tooling around that to build the template and then use the template to build that instrument, which would be fun. And I guess I would laugh. So yes, maybe I will, but I have not yet. Can I sweep your floor? I think I see some shiny. That would be in the pay dirt room. I can take you in there if you want to see the pay dirt room real quick. Can't wait to find a new guitar, man. I've been too long. Need a new one big time. Hard part is decent one's expensive, so got to save for it, but way too long. Yeah, man. You know, like something like this, just the wood alone. Like, for instance, this zirconia fingerboard, just the board was $127 just for the piece of wood, right? The curly maple, I got it for a really good deal, but you know, sometimes that's like $150 just for the wood. The maple neck blank, there's a cost in everything, right? And right now, wood is expensive, so it's definitely not cheap to build a custom guitar. But if you know, you can purchase cheaper stuff like from China, and they use like boxwood and like plywood, and they don't spend any time in finish. They just take the guitar and dunk it in like polyurethane, and it's very easy for them to crank out a bunch of them. Same thing with Gibson guitars. They don't really take their time, but they do use quality wood over at Gibson. At least nothing like this, but they still do use like, you know, they use African mahogany, which I have used, and it's hard, just because it's so hard to get Honduran mahogany right now. Let's see. Can't wait to find a new guitar. Okay, got it. I've tried 7 strings. It's like learning all over again. Yeah, I really enjoy 7-string guitar. That one I just built is so much fun to play. Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, and then for each guitar, I'm building 3 guitars in this run, and it's going to be, right now, it's probably about 70 to 80 man hours per guitar, right? Once I get the process done, once I have all my templates keyed in, and I have all my holes drilled in the right places and all that stuff, and I get the process going, it'll be hopefully around 40 to 60 hours per guitar, not including finish. And then I want to do 10 guitars a month, right? So yeah, right now it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, building this place, this shop, that was a lot of work, and you guys can see that on this channel if you want to. If you don't know, the whole process of building this place, getting all the machines, driving up to, driving all over the place to buy this stuff and having this stuff delivered, and then yelling at the delivery guy when he delivered this thing because he left it down at the curb, and just pretty much everything in this shop, that was a lot of work. Now it's like it's time to have fun, right? That ceiling took me like a couple weeks to put in this tongue and groove knotty pine ceiling, and then even in the corners I did little pointy, like on my guitars I have that little point. I have that in all 4 corners when I built the place. Just little details and stuff that I like to. Okay, let's see. What is the most ideal distance on strings, says Guillermo Delange. So that depends on what guitar you're playing. Like normally for a 25.5-inch scale guitar, for a 6-string guitar, 25.5 inches, right? That would be considered the scale length. That's the distance from the nut to the saddle on the bridge, 25.5 inches. For Fender scale length. Gibson's different, Martin's different, PRS is different, but somewhere around 20, somewhere anywhere between 24 and 25.5 for a non-baritone guitar. If I was going to build a baritone guitar, then I would go like 28. I would go even longer, put bigger strings on it, and then you'd get a deeper tone. You'd be able to tighten the strings up to the correct tension to get a nice, like a bassier tone. Like for basses, you're looking at 32 to 35-inch scale length, right? Tarnished Viking. Hey Shane, do you know how to dovetail? Would love to see see 2 different woods dovetailed from top to bottom. Yeah, dovetailing is something that we did in guitar school. And when I'm doing repairs on Martin guitars and a few others, they do dovetailed joints in the neck pocket on acoustic guitars. it's a fun project. But yeah, I understand what you mean. It's satisfying to put once it's finished and you put the wood together. Anthony, there were great videos. I like them the best. He's talking about building the shop. Yep, they were cool. Polly uploaded a new sniping video. I know what I'll be watching next. Polly, I wonder what he's up to. I haven't watched any of his videos or nothing in a while. Spencer, prospecting, need to put some finish on that ceiling, would look good. You know, I like the natural wood color. I did that. I did put a water-based polyacrylic on it to keep it natural wood. I don't want to put any stain or anything on it. I think the dark, well, for two reasons. One, the reason the wall is white and the wood is light colored is for camera work to get the best lighting. All right, a couple more comments and we have to get to work here. Love the shop build. Hey Shane, how you doing? What's up, Nick? What is the most ideal distance between the strings? Love the natural wood look. So the distance between the strings is, I'm not sure the number offhand, but this is how I determine the spacing between the strings. So right here, this is a piece of paper, and I have it folded in half right there. So I'll set that on the nut, and then I'll mark, evenly all the way across the nut. I don't know, what is it? 0.2454 inches. So there you go. All right, let's get to work. I got some, what's next? Oh, installing frets. Cutting frets and installing them. All right. I'll keep checking comments and all that. Try to make it so you can see everything. Back a little bit. There we go. Hey, Nick says, hey, Shane, gonna ship out some belt buckles and bolos my grandfather from Arizona made by hand to you. Turquoise quartz. Oh, sweet, dude. Yeah, that'd be great, man. Thank you, Guillermo GDNS. Those necks look amazing. Excellent work. Thank you. Mud Sweat, you've waited a long time for this shop. I know. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You guys know, if you've been watching my show, especially my live streams from when I was doing the coin roll hunting, all I talked about was like, other than Bitcoin and coins and stuff, was one of these days, I'm going to buy a house. As soon as Bitcoin hits $50,000, I'm buying a house. And here we are. So yes, it's been a long time coming. It's been since like, I moved here 2016. So, and I've been living in apartments since then. And it's just, apartments here, they're like freaking so expensive. Like $2,500 a month just to live in an apartment. That's, in Pennsylvania for $10,000 back in 2016, I could have purchased a house. Here in Colorado, it's a little bit pricier, and the prices now the interest rates are going up, so it's a little bit more affordable, but the interest rates make it unaffordable, Like I got this house, it was at 2.75% APR percentage rate, and now it's like, what is it, 7 or something? If I was to buy the same house now, I'd be paying like $1,000 more per month. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just measuring the frets as I go. Do all 24, and then we hammer them in, just like I did on that last one. Leaving a little overhang. Whoops. I usually stand on the other side, so this is more difficult, but I can't stand on the other side because the camera's there now. So you get to see me work like a lefty. I'm not ambidextrous. even slightly, but not. I can't write my name with my left hand or anything. I mean, I can, but it looks like a 3-year-old's doing it. I've never really practiced that. Okay, I need to cut more. I need to radius more fret wire, I guess. Takes about 2.5. Let's see. This one here goes number 1. And do I have more fret wire laying around? Yeah, I do. I don't think I have enough though. No, definitely not. Bend one more. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's close enough. Oh, I got 2 frets to go. Almost made it. All right. Yeah, these, once I start production on these, I'll let you guys know about, you know, if I decided to start selling them. We'll see. I will be giving some away to like signed bands and stuff like that, just to get the name out there. And you know, I'll give them, basically I'll contact a musician and be like, hey, would you like a free guitar? Oh, really? You would? Okay, you can have it for free. All you have to do is play it on tour. At least, you know, 2 songs per show, something like that. And there you go. That would be the payment, them playing the guitar. Okay. Now, guess we can get hammering. If you're just joining, this is the annoying part, because I'll be banging a lot. Ebony's noticeably harder than the other 2 woods I did. This is the hardest. Like beating it in there. All right, I just got to hit harder. I can't rely on the weight of the hammer for this stuff. Yeah, that's way harder. It's been a while since I fretted an ebony neck, ebony fingerboard. Anybody leave yet from the annoying sounds? Let's check the comments. Bitcoin to the moon. Yep. I've been DCAing into Bitcoin really heavily since the pullback. Ever done any good at prospecting in Michigan? So no, I have not. I have not yet. I've been to Wisconsin and Minnesota, but not Michigan. Michael, being hand-built is always better than mass-produced. The quality and care put into each one going to turn out beautiful. Once you start selling them, each one will be worth every penny. Yeah, they're, you know, eventually I'll start selling them, and yes, they will be worth it. Let's see. So cool to watch. It's sweet. Thanks, Anthony. Deb, gotta go shopping for the hedgehog. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Deb. Mud Swat, take care, Deb. Have you heard of Immortal Guardian? I have not. GDNS, how much would it cost to take the garage off-grid with self-sustaining solar panels? Maybe worth the investment. I don't know. But it would take a lot of solar to power this stuff in here. Just the lights in here is like 1,000 watts that are running right now. It's crazy. So in regards to your comment on coin hunting, there's a way to hang with you for a day or whatever on a day of prospecting or whatever. Tried many times catching you at Arapahoe with no luck. Well, I have not been to Arapahoe bar in about 2 years, or a year and a half at least. And I haven't done any prospecting at all this year, actually, none. Coin Dragon, bouncy little buggers. Yes, hit it with a hammer. Nick, if you haven't, my buddy Gabriel is their guitarist and keyboard player. Oh, he plays sick one-handed guitar. One-handed guitar? Oh, I see. Interesting. What would be the price of a guitar? Somewhere, once I start selling them, somewhere between 35 and 4,500 each to start, and then depending on the exotic woods and whatever's on it, then the price goes up. But they're not for sale, at least not yet. Gears going to bed. Good night, my friend. Thanks for stopping in, man. Okay, let's get hammering. All right, here we go. Maybe I should use the metal side. Let's try it. I never use the brass end. Well, I do, but not very often. That works a little better, I think. Yeah, that actually worked okay. The brass is softer than this metal here, so it's not going to dent it. Yeah, that looks great. I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of frets popped up at the end of this. I'm going to have to go over it twice. We'll see how that goes. Get you guys a better angle so you can see what I see, because what you see there just looks kind of generalized. I want to get you in on some details here. How's that? There we go. See if I could do this without hitting the camera, my phone. Ouch! That hurt. Okay. Good training. Blood and sweat and tears and pinched fingers. I can't believe there's 24 people continuing to watch this. Yeah, it's a pretty good shot, Mud Swat, and I can read your comment as you say it. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, in this board, we got some like white coming through in this ebony. This is a really nice piece of wood. Bring it back a little bit. We'll keep going. Seems like a decent shot there. You guys are seeing what I see. I can't believe I've been live for 74 minutes already. That seems like 10 minutes to me. That's the thing, out here in the shop, I mean, it'll be, I'll get out here 8, 9 in the morning, and next thing I know, I look up at the clock, it's like noon, and the only reason I look at the clock is because I'm thinking, oh, I'm kind of hungry. you know, I'll look at the clock, it's noon, it seems like 10 minutes. And then after I eat, I'll come back in here and it's like 6, 7 o'clock at night already, like nothing. Time really does fly when you're having fun, which is a scary thing. Okay, we're getting closer. A lot of people like to, a lot of other guitar makers like to use a press for this, an arbor press. I have used them and they're fine. It's just that I prefer doing it this way. If you ask me, there's no better way or worse way. They both work just fine. I'm gonna move the camera a bit so I can work here. Let's put it over here. There we go. Arbor press is easier. See, it's moving now. Look at that. All that pounding, it knocked these things down. Okay. 3. So this is what goes into a fret job on a brand new guitar. On a repair job, doing a fret job, a little bit different depending on a board or finished or unfinished board. For a repair, you have to take all the frets out first, clean all the slots out. That's one thing I forgot to do. I totally forgot. And I'm on the very last fret. And let me show you guys what I forgot to do. If there's any luthiers watching, you're gonna understand. Here's my hand as we walk. I'll show you, let's see if I could find my special files here. No, yep, here they are right here. So these little files, there's a triangular one. Where is it? Yeah, this guy right here. This little triangle file. It's a little late now. I've already fretted 2 necks. Let me get I need 2 hands for this. Fret files. Yeah, so this is a fingerboard file here. So let me get, this is a little trick they taught us at Roberto Venn. The luthier school. Get a right angle here. I'll show you what I want to do here. Okay. So this fret slot right now is perfectly straight across. But if I take this little triangle file and I bevel it down just a little bit, let me do it from the opposite side so maybe it'll help illustrate what I'm doing. I just want to run that over there. It's knocking off the sharp edges. That way, if and when, every guitar is going to need to be refretted at some point, when the next guy comes back and he yanks the frets out, there's less of a chance of these little fret nibs pulling the wood out, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. I get the very last 2, the last 2 of them are done. The rest of them are not. It's not a big deal. And that's just like whatever. I'll just leave that file over here so I don't forget to do it for the next guitars. But again, that's why I'm building these 3 guitars, just to relearn how to do it the correct way. Oh, that sucks. The camera's in my way. I really need to hold on to that fret with one finger. Again, that is that fret is bent. I'm gonna set the camera over here. There we go. All right. Oh, Coast has been here since 5 seconds in. What results in a high fret? Good question. How do I trim the ends? I'll show you that in a minute. I'll answer your question. What results in a high fret? Gotta be ready for that chicken and mushroom dish. Wow, is this live? Yes, it is live. MJIRL. Okay, so why is a high fret bad? So say that this fret is high, right? Picture the strings going over it. Actually, let's do a high fret down here. Say that this fret is up higher than the rest of them. Well, when I press down on the string here, instead of the string vibrating, it's gonna buzz off of that high fret. You're not gonna be able to press down on notes down the fret from it. So you have to make sure all the frets are level. Okay. Try this again. This ebony is so hard too. This is like super tough ebony. That's a trash fret. Let's get that out of here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and tap in all the edges like I showed earlier. Now I'm going to look down to see what frets are popped up, and that one is way popped up. No, I just didn't pound it down. There you go. Okay. That one is popping. Okay. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's not a big deal. It just helps later when I'm leveling the frets. It's less work to do later. Where did it go? Okay, we can, well, we can oil the board. Actually, where did it go? I had a little piece of ebony chip out right here, and I want to find it so I can glue it back in. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, here it is. I think that's it. Maybe. There's a little chip out right there. I can fill that. That's got to be it. I don't know if that's the right way. That's it. Okay. Let me show this up close. So when I hit that fret, when the camera was right up on it, let me show you. Now, luckily, this isn't maple. This is ebony, so this is easily repairable, right? So this little piece, when I hit this thing, the fret wire bent and that piece shot off that way, and I found it, luckily. If not, it'd still fix it. I'll show you how, but. Okay, now what I want to do before I oil this board, I'm going to glue that in there. If I can find the super glue. Ebony is the most forgiving of all the hardwoods. All right, we'll let that go for a second. I don't want to hit it with accelerator, at least not yet. Because then, I mean, I probably can, it wouldn't matter. There we go. I'll let that dry, and then we can scrape it flat. Check out the comments. Yes, doing awesome work. MJ IRL, guitars in gold are two of my favorite things. Me too. Kevin, my first live, I must say you need to do more lives if at all possible. Love your channels. Thanks, man. The only reason I'm going live is because I was just listening to music and I didn't know what else to listen to after my song finished. Yeah, focus is bad. This live stream doesn't really focus. I can zoom in a little bit. How's that? Is that a plastic mallet? So this is a fretting hammer. So it's got plastic on one side and it's got brass on the other. I don't really use the brass side very often, but I just did use it here on this ebony board. But I use the plastic 95% of the time, I would say. And they're also replaceable, so they come off. I could unscrew this and replace it when they wear out. It's just a special hammer for hammering frets in guitars. Slightly out of focus. Brass on that end. Yep. Seems okay on my end. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, all right. So it's still not dry, but we can hit it with accelerator. This is just Instaset accelerator for super glue. That's going to make this super glue cure instantly. Right? The only problem is when you do that, sometimes it leaves little white bubbles that are difficult to remove. So now we're just going to clean that up. Let me get a paper towel. Okay. This stuff is really oily. You don't want to leave it on bare wood very long. All right. So now, if we zoom in, you can see our little blemish, right? Now, without getting my fingers in the shot, I'm just using a razor blade. I'm going to scrape that off. Big hard piece of wood right there. We go. All right, we're getting there. We might have to do a second coat, but it'll completely disappear. I do see a couple little white spots in there, which I do not like. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out on a microscopic level here. Try to. No pressure. There's only, people watching me. Nobody ever watches me do this stuff up this close. This is like a first. So you get to criticize my work. I want to get rid of that white ugliness there. There we go. All right. Now, I'm just going to take more. So I'm going to do a second coat on this. The super glue should cover up that white stuff. Just a small drop. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, it's pretty much cured. Now we can do it again. And basically, we just do that process until that little black chip out is gone. As you can see, it's not quite done. Oops. Too much glue. Not enough control. All right. I really don't want to hit that with accelerator, because if I did, it would get more of those little white bubbles that you guys just saw. But you guys are literally watching glue dry. There's another way around it. If I just touch it, it likes to cure a little bit faster without using accelerator. There we go. Getting closer. Sorry about the motion there. All right. Not quite done yet. I know it's blurry, I'm sorry. Let me show you what it looks like from above. Okay. It's got to do that. I mean, you know, there's a million better things to watch on TV or on YouTube or anywhere, but I have to keep doing this until it's done, and it may take a few more applications, but that's what it's all about, you know, making sure. And I mean, you guys saw the damage to begin with. It was pretty bad. There was a big chunk taken out of there. I'm gonna actually hit it with some accelerator, not right here. Where's my razor blade? There we go. I'm gonna pull this over into this other gap, and then I'm gonna hit it with accelerator before it goes into the fret. It's almost gone. Almost gone. We have one little bit to go. Sometimes I'll just take the razor, and honestly, after I clean this up, I have to redo these frets anyway. I haven't even leveled, crowned, or polished or anything. That's going to disappear once I put oil on it too, so I think we're good. Okay. All right. You guys can see it very good because it's zoomed in on it. But when you're playing this thing and when there's strings on it, when there's oil on it, you won't even see it. I can see, like right now, I can see a little white spot, like not white, but grayish. And trust me, that'll disappear. Okay, let's take this thing off, glue it up, and then we can start trimming our frets and level, crown, and polish. And then side dots as well, maybe. Wow, I've been streaming for 94 minutes. Feels like maybe 20 minutes. All right. MJ wants me to keep going. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll keep going, but as soon as she calls me in for dinner, I am out of here. I'll give you a good warning, though. I won't leave you hanging. Takes a steady hand. I used to, yeah, just have it on the edge there, the garbage can. It's easier if I get closer. It's weird not having any music blasting in here. Last one. This one has fret juice. It's knocking the excess glue off of there. And then I'm going to flip it and check to see if there's a dot of super glue on the other side of every fret, and there is. So yeah, we're glued up now. All three of these, all right? Now, let's chop them. This is they're called end nippers, but I have them ground flat so I can do flush cutting with them. I ground them on the sander, and when I cut these, pushing down because I don't want the fret to pop up. We just glued them in, right? So trying to get as close as I can, because everything that's left over is going to have to be filed off. I'm wearing a glove on my left hand for a good reason. Because it's still sharp. I have to hold it like this. It helps to have been a guitar repair guy also. Like doing that little repair wherever it was, which is good. I can't even find it. Oh, right there. That's, you know, it's one of those little tricks that you learn along the way to cover up mistakes. Okay, there's one down. We got two next. Do the zirconia one next. That board looks pretty good. It's pretty awesome. Another reason I do this over the garbage can is because it falls right in. Some of them fly away, but try to avoid that. The last thing you want to do is roll your nice, guitar that's been freshly sanded after 2 hours of sanding, and then you roll it right over a fret end or something. I've done it many times. Or a pencil or a screw or something laying on the table. Try my best to avoid that, but you never know. All right. I haven't done this for a while. Hands cramping up. And we're just getting started. 2 down, 1 to go. The best part about this is there's no boss. I used to do this, and I had a boss, and who likes having a boss? Whether they're a cool person or not, who likes having a boss? I don't. I like being the boss. Oh, do you guys remember? Check this out. Let's see if I can get it on camera. The 12th fret, it has that knot, that it's the only, other than right here, there's a little one here. But this is the 12th fret, right? Check this out on my other completed guitar that I just finished. So on this guy, the 12th fret, see the 2 dots for the 12th fret? It's the same board. It's the sister board to this. See that? It's actually book matched. They used to be together, and then I sawed it apart and opened it up. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yes, that was intentional. I thought I'd like to have a maple board, but I want the 12th fret. I don't do inlays on my fingerboards. I only do side dots. So if I could find something natural in the board to be at the 12th fret, that's what I want to do. Like this one, this zirconia board, there's a knot right there at the 12th fret, right there. Ebony board, there's nothing. So, but I'm going to have pearl side dots on that. Yeah, normally I would have music blasting or a podcast or something going. That's another reason the time goes so fast, because I'm just listening to music and jamming out in here. And then before I know it, it's supper time and, time to quit for the day. I am making progress in here though, a lot of progress. So that's the main thing. A lot of rebuilding templates, like routing templates and stuff. There's a lot of that going on right now. Like those control cavities over there. It took me 2 days just to make the templates for those things and get them right. Exactly where I want them. Because now I have a single template for every guitar. Instead of having, 3 or 4 different ones, I made it so I have a universal template for every guitar. It just cuts down on production time. So now we have 3 fretted necks. The next step is going to be fretting them. Not fretting them, level, crown, and polish. So basically cleaning them up. Because right now, if I was to put these on a guitar, they would be terrible. They need to be level, crown, and polished. Did you guys freeze for a second? It said low power on my phone. I apologize for that. I've been streaming for 100 minutes. All right. Oh, for just a second you were? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to do one neck, and then that'll be it. We'll do the maple neck first, just because the maple's the most difficult, and it's the lightest color. Therefore, once it's done, the hard part's done first, right? All right. So we're going to go ahead and reattach this to the jig. Got some glue on the back of that one. That's never good. I don't need that anymore. I don't need this anymore. All right, I got to find a hole that lines up with this. Let's go here. My center line is on. Okay, now we're at the stage where these frets they're installed. Okay, they're as level as I can get them by eye, but trust me, they're not level, right? So now we have to level these frets. All these fret ends are really rough and sharp. Like if I was to touch this, that'll cut your finger, right? So I need to clean all that up, make them all nice and perfect. Yeah. All right. Let's get to work. In my videos, I tend to explain what I'm gonna do and then do it, which is helpful. But I noticed it a couple videos ago. I'm like, man, why don't I just do it? Just do it, right? Okay, so I need my blue pen. Here I have a blue magic marker. I am going to mark the top of each fret, and I think you know where this is going. The reason I'm doing that is so I can see how much material I take off of each one, if any, right? Because if there's no material being taken off of it, that means it's lower than the rest, which means I have to grind everything else down in order to level all of the frets. This is called fret leveling, And here we go. So I'm going to use this 220 sandpaper first, just to see how aggressive I need to get, if at all. I gotta set this up first. I hear somebody out there with a chainsaw. I've got neighbors, they've got like a forest in their yard and they're always out working on it. And I'm like, every time I see them, I'm like, oh man, I don't talk to them. I'm just like, every time I see them, I'm like, to myself, I'm like, man, that's an awesome, they got an awesome setup over there. Okay, so we're level here. I'm just gonna run this sandpaper across it. That's gonna tell me instantly where all the high frets are. Bring them in. You can see that these frets, some of them are not even touched. Some of them have, you can see where the sandpaper touched it, like that fret right there. The sandpaper touched here and here, but it did not touch in the middle. However, the next fret, it touches here, here, and here. Same here. So basically, we have to continue grinding these down until some of each fret is taken off. All right, put you back in here, and we'll go ahead and level these frets. So I'm just gonna take a look at it to see where I need to work the hardest. This fret is low, this and this fret are low. That fret hasn't even been touched. So this is my lowest fret right here, which is weird, but it is. All right, which one is that? That's fret number 10. Okay. So we're pretty close. The idea is to take the smallest amount off of each fret as possible. You can see that the top of each of these frets have been leveled off. If there's a little gap like that, which actually it's not a gap. I can see it's been filed all the way across. Even this one. All right, I'm looking for, here we go. This fret, I don't trust it. It looks like we didn't take anything off here, and it's questionable there. This one here, this side of this fret hasn't even been touched. This one's questionable. That hasn't even been touched in the middle. So we have a little bit further to go. The rest of these do not matter because they're on the end. We don't have to worry about the string buzzing off of those, but we're still gonna make sure that we level everything. So we got a little bit more to go. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off with the air compressor first. All right. I'm happy that we didn't have to use anything more aggressive than 220 grit. Sometimes the frets are really bad for whatever reason. Bad leveling of the board, or just I missed something or something like that, and then I have to go over it with a heavier sandpaper, and then you have to polish it. It's a big mess. So we'll just do another 50 passes or 100 passes with this, and we should be good. Take a quicker look. I'm level from here to here. So that whole part of the board is level. But I still have to continue bringing everything down, even if we had one little corner that wasn't touched yet. So. All right, looks like we're getting there. Okay, once they're all level, which they're not, this one is not level yet. The rest of them are. I got to keep going until we get this one taken care of. But once I get this one level, there's a little trick that I like to do, and I'll explain that once this is done. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay, we are level there. I'm going to ramp this last 3 frets. There we go. Those are ramped. We're all level. We clean it off. Wait, not yet, not yet. Before I clean it off, I like to give it a few more passes with this, but instead of going straight up and back, I like to go like make an X. It kind of adds the radius into the frets. Without actually radiusing the frets. I learned that from Kelly Butler when I was working with him up in Boston. All right. Okay. I'm just double checking, making sure that they're all level, and they are. Okay, next step is these edges. They're super rough, right? So I have a special tool for that. It's just a file, and I epoxied it to a piece of walnut so I had something to hold on to. There's a lot more fret concentration on this half of the fingerboard than from here, so I have to work more down here to get them level. Just trying to make them parallel the rest of the board at first. Okay. It's hard to tell if I got them all, but I think I do. I'll look at it from a different angle now. Well, and that air compressor is making sounds. There we go. Jig out of my way so I can stand here. Where is this? Oh, you can also use, instead of using that file, the file does a smoother finish, but you can also use like a level with a piece of sandpaper on it, just to go like that. That ensures that the thing is parallel, or straight, I should say, not parallel. Get this side again. Are you dizzy yet? Now I'm feeling for any little catches, anything sharp, and we're good. Well, I mean, there is sharp things, but we're going to take care of that in a second. I'm just talking about on the edge. Yeah, we're good. Okay, next step is crowning. This is called a crowning file. It has diamonds. It's a diamond file, concave. I know it's blurry. Can't focus it, but it's a concave thing. It rides right on top of the frets. And so what I need to do is crown these frets. So what that means is, right now after leveling, they're all, the top of each fret is uneven. They're all uneven. You see, there's a fatter flat piece on the flat part on the top. It's narrower in the middle. We want every fret to have the same exact crown. Like this one here, I think is our flattest one. We took the most off of that. So what we need to do, actually a lot of these down here. So again, we get our marker. We'll just mark the top of each one. You don't want to get this blue marker on your fretboard, especially in the maple. It's very annoying. You just got to have a steady hand. And pretty much we're just going to mark all these, and then we're going to crown them. So we just have a small blue stripe on the top of each fret, even all the way across. Doesn't have to be blue. It's just what I have. And it seems like it's running out of ink, so I need a new one of those. Donovan is taking off. Hey, Shane, is always pleasure to watch you work. Time for me to start doing a few things around. Hey, man, have a great night, man. All right. I'm reading comments. Oh, my battery's going to die. All right. I got 10% battery left. If it dies, well, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to go ahead and crown these. Let me just explain to you, since the battery may die, the process to finish this video off is I'll demonstrate how to crown, do fret ends, and then polish, and that's all that's left. So crowning is doing that. I'm looking across the top. I see a nice even line. Do the same for this. Those three swipes right there, that knocks off that sharp corner on the top part. 3 across, that leaves the line. And then 3 on that edge to knock off that sharp top. So I'm just going to rip through these. Big factories have machines called Plek machines, and they just set the fretboard in there, press a button, and it does all this for you. There's no handwork involved, really. Nothing like this. The outcome is less than desirable. Now I'm just double checking to make sure that all my lines are even. This one's really flat. There's also a heavier grit on here. Go back and clean them up. Okay, now that we're done crowning, we need to do the fret ends and the fret end dressing. So yeah, we went over each of these with the crowner and kind of knocked off that top edge, but the side edges are still rough. The sides of each fret, let me show you let's see if I can explain it visually, because that makes more sense. Okay. There we go. It's a little bit better. A little bit more. There we go. That's the shot I'm looking for. Okay, so each of these frets, where are we at? Right there. The top of that fret, we had used the crowning file to kind of smooth that off because it was sharp before. But these edges, this edge and the far edge, are still sharp. Which one is it? Right there. So I have to take this special little file. You can see there's no file on the side, on the edge, just on the front and back, right? That allows me to run the file and kind of turn it and file that smooth like this. See? Now it's smooth. So I have to do that for every fret, both sides. Hope that helps. Okay. So yes, this, Robert, if you're still here, is a little tedious. This is a little tedious, but again, once you get going on it, you're just mindless. I do one side and go back and forth like this to make sure that they're all exactly the same. It becomes less tedious when you do it like this. So it's like I'm going this way, I'm bringing my arm out, and I'm turning my wrist at the same time. So there's 3 different motions going on to do this. Each one should be the same. And then going the opposite way. See if I can do this with the camera in my way. Do I normally do this right-handed? I can't remember how I do this. I think I do it right-handed, righty. Yeah. Oh yeah, I put my other hand here. I know you can't see, Sorry for my shoulder. Let's get it done. Okay. Okay, now, even though there's no like, it's not, even though it's still sharp, there's no catches, right? It's not, my finger's not getting caught on anything. That's what this does. And then, you know, if you feel anything, just kind of go back over it. Compared to this side, my finger's getting caught on each fret. Over here, it kind of slides right across. So, really catchy. So is that one. There we go. Thank you guys. You're all dedicated, still watching, and I appreciate it. Oh, what am I catching on there? Right there. Edge there. Okay, that's pretty darn good. Where's my other file? I'm going to run this other file along the end just to knock off. I don't like how it feels. I'm going to start over. This is a very aggressive file. It basically just brings all the frets in a little bit more. I just need to bring it back like another degree. This thing can wreck your guitar if you're not careful. I mean, one little slip and it'll just tear everything up. So I gotta be careful here. Right in here. There we go. Okay, I'm happier with that. Okay, try that again. Are you bored yet? Let me see if anybody has commented that I've been missing. I apologize, I'm kinda... All right, let's read comments. Thanks for the stream. All right, if it dies, it dies. Oh yeah, it may be dead. Okay. All right, you know what? Before my battery dies, which it will, I'll go ahead and, where's my little charger thing? Here we go. I have these little magnetic charger things. Plug them in to the phone. And got a USB. There we go. I don't think I have a USB cable over here though. I don't know if I even have one anywhere. Do I have one sitting around here? I don't know if I can charge my phone. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna have to end the stream before it dies. Anyway, I could just quickly explain the process in case you're wondering. So now that I use that aggressive file there, I'm gonna go ahead and redo the fret ends again with that little file. do all the ends again, make sure they're all even. And then I'm going to polish the frets. And so how I do that, I'm going to take these are sanding sponges here, different grits. I've got medium, fine, and super fine. Right? I'm just going to take those, clean these up, and then we're going to scrape each fret, all the wood. We're going to get rid of that super glue and all that dirty and nastiness. We're going to clean all that up. And this is maple, so it's going to get a tongue oil finish. And that's pretty much it. There's another, I have another, hour to go on each of these necks. So I'm not going to do that, on camera here. But anyway, USB outlet above the sanding. Is there a USB outlet? Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, good eye. And I installed that. And I don't even remember putting it there. And I installed it specifically for this purpose, doing frets over here. So the show goes on. Oh, problem is, a dog is only as good as the length of his leash. Let me see if I can. You guys are limited to like this area here. Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? I have to move some things around. Hold on a second. I have to get the camera even closer to the wall here so I can plug it in. There we go. Is it charging? I think we're good, man. I think if I can keep it like that, I think we're good. And I could even read comments, I think. Do a closing KleshGuitars so you don't have an abrupt ending. Gotta eat soon too. Yeah, well, I guess you know what? We'll just keep streaming because why not? I'm gonna be in here until she calls me for food. No, dude, I would be in here doing this anyway. So that's all there is to it. I'm live streaming. Might as well keep going, right? So I'm happy to keep live streaming. I'm happy to keep doing this stuff. So now you can kind of see from that angle my process of doing the fret ends. Making sure everyone is hit exactly the same way with the file. Whoops. This is a tricky angle. But it's important to get these nice and smooth. That's way better. Okay. I'm just looking for anything that's remotely uncomfortable. And it's all good. Okay. Next, we're going to polish the frets. So let me get these sanding sponges. Medium, fine, super fine. So we have a lot of scratches and stuff from all the files and sandpaper and stuff. So now, this is medium grit sanding sponge. Now, it might not look like it, but I'm consciously trying to remember how much I'm going over each fret, because these are perfectly level. As soon as I start taking sandpaper to it, and if I concentrate on one spot, those are, you know, it's going to move things around a little bit. So I got to be, especially with the medium here, I got to be careful. So my fret ends are all good. I'm going to give it a visual too, to make sure that it all looks the same. I'm looking for any file marks. If I can see file marks, I'm gonna knock those off first, because those are the deepest. Everything else looks good. All right. Okay, I see scratches going this way. That's from the sanding sponge. So we're done with that grit. We'll just take that completely. Actually, we have 2 other necks to do. We'll just make a pile right there. Okay, next is fine, and then we have super fine last. So we'll do the same thing with this. Except here we don't have to be as careful with changing the shape of the frets. We can, if we see scratches, we can kind of chase them a little bit. A little bit more anyway. Now, a lot of people that do frets on maple boards, they like to tape each individual one off. And the reason I'm not doing that is because we're gonna individually clean the each fret anyway later. So it doesn't matter. That would be a waste of time right now. We're just trying to do the big work. Because cleaning the fretboard is a job in itself. So why waste time trying to keep it clean now? We have to clean it. We have to clean it really well later. So now with this, with the fine, I like to go this way, because when you're bending a string, you don't want scratches going this way. You'll hear every single little scratch. But if you're gonna have scratches, you want them going this way, right? Not saying I'm gonna have scratches. I'm trying to remove those, but I like to start at about fine with the sanding sponges, going with the frets like this. And then it also lets me see deeper scratches that are going this way. So now I give it another visual. I can see a scratch right there. That's deeper. Sometimes you can get them out just by chasing it a little bit. Also, if I do chase something, like say there's a scratch right here and I want to chase it to get rid of the scratch, say I go, 5 times going like this, well, I'll do the same thing to every fret, just to kind of, even though it's not perfect, at least I know that I did 5 passes on each fret, so there's no chance of a dip. Because top priority is not cleaning these frets, it's keeping them level. Because if they're not level, well, we have to go back and start over. Okay, super fine. Let me clean it up one more time. Not that it matters, I just don't want my sandpaper to get plugged up. All right, it's starting to look really good. Once you get to the super fine, it starts looking good. I can't really show you. I mean, it just looks very buttery. Like if I saw something like this at a guitar store, this is at the point where I compliment, like, wow, that's a good fret job. From you know, 5 feet away. But we're not done yet. We're just getting started. Patting myself on the back there, but it's good. Trust me, it's good. Oh, that's nice and smooth. Oh yeah. All right, now I'm starting to get happy with this. This is pretty good. Okay, the last step of polishing the frets is this stuff right here. It's called micro mesh. I know the lighting's terrible where I have you guys planted by the charger, but it starts at 1500 grit and it goes all the way up to 12,000 grit. Okay, so now a lot of people, at least people that I've worked with, are like, oh, you got to use it comes with like a little sponge that you're supposed to like wrap and go like this, which is, it's fine, you can do that. It doesn't rip up, actually I never use this thing, and I'm using it now for like the first time in like 20 years, and it seems like not terrible. Because I guess, I mean, the way I do it, I used to polish my boots in the military, and you know, you would take your paper, your cloth, and wrap it around your fingers, and then polish your boots. It's kind of how I do this. I can feel it better. I like doing it this way better. Everybody does it their own way. I also like to press down flat down on the top. It really polishes it. This is just the first grit, the 1500. I'm gonna go both ways, this way and with the fret. And we're gonna repeat that process for every one of these different grits. And after we're at the 1200, then we get to just scrape all the dirt out of our maple board, because it's going to be completely, like right now, this board, I guess I could bring you over here to show you real quick how it looks. Right now, the board looks, we're getting like dust and dirt, and when we get down to these finer grits, it really starts plugging that up. See, like right here, you can see the scratches from the 220 or even whatever I'd used before. But all that's going to go away once we scrape it with the razor blade after we're done with the 12,000 grit. All right, plug you back in, get you back up here. You're like a friend with a severe disability. All right, let's plug you in and set you here in the corner. All right, next. Yeah, it's shining up really, like really good now. And the higher the grit we go, the less time we have to spend. There we go. Next. Nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. We got some comments to read. All right, Busted Knuckles. Hey, Klesh mate, I'm a huge guitar fan. This is the best series of videos as it helps explain the processes involved to make a nice guitar. Yeah, it does. And I mean, you know, there are other luthiers on YouTube, and I don't watch them or anything, but I'm sure there's better information out there than this. Is kind of like, if you want an in-depth, hands-on how to do a fret job, you can watch this live stream, right? I mean, I'm not fretting, slotting the guitar, I'm not actually sawing each individual one in this video, but I did do that in a different video. So yeah, there's like a ton of different stuff on this channel. I hope you're doing good, man. Cool to see you in here, Busted Knuckles. Peas, Doc, as a guitar player, I never thought about how much work goes into making them, especially those frets. Oh yeah. I played some Fenders that my hand would get held up sliding and down the neck. Hated that, yeah. Yeah, you can come over and play. Come on over. Because I can't play guitar, so definitely feel free. That's what it's for. Wow. These frets are like little mirrors. I'm at 3,200 right now. Yeah. So we're about halfway through our grits of sandpaper. And they are like little mirrors. Get the light glaring off of them. Right? My hands are shaky, so, but you get the idea. All right. All right, charging again. Okay, we're at 4,000. I'm also hitting the fret ends too, not just the tops. It's a good way to get a workout. It's kind of like doing crunches or something with a beer belly. Okay, we've got 3 to go. This is 6,000. Yeah, these frets are super shiny. They look like mercury or something, like super liquidy. Right. This is 8,000 grit sandpaper. It's called micro mesh, this stuff. Micro mesh. There's the container. Micro mesh. And the final grit, 12,000. Those frets are as good as they could possibly get, right there. I'm going to give them a once over, a visual once over, just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. The next step. The next step is to clean up. I don't know if you can see it from there, but the wood itself. Okay, it's all filled with scratches from our sandpaper when we leveled the fingerboard. So now we need a fresh, brand new razor blade. These razor blades have a little bit of like packing grease on them. Get rid of that. We don't want any grease on our guitar. Just going to clean it up a bit. You could clean it with acetone or something if you really wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off the visible stuff. You also don't want it to slip and cut your finger off, right? Okay. Now I'm just going to use it as a scraping tool. Oh, I got an idea. I apologize for my inconsideration. Get some lighting here for you. There we go. Better. Now you can see what's going on. Yeah. I can see what's going on too. All right. See that? I'm peeling off all those scratches, all that dirt. I'm going right up to the fret. And I'm going until all those scratches are gone. I can still see scratches. For some reason, I don't know if it's this fretting deck or what, but when I level the fingerboards, it seems that the end of the fingerboard is always untouched. I don't know if it has to do with when I'm doing it by hand over on the edge sander, or if it has something to do with the fretting deck. I just gotta, it seems like I'm taking more material off of here before I start leveling it. It doesn't affect the guitar in any way, but I'd like to know why, at least, why it's, some scratches right there. There we go. There we go. Now you can see, obviously, I hope you can see, there's a big difference. This is perfectly clean, and everything else is dirty. That's what the razor blade does. The last step is to take the corner of the razor blade and just shove it into that, right between the wood and the fret, and clean that little bit of glue that may have popped out of there during the gluing process. And then one final step is to actually round over the edges after the frets are in. We've already rounded them in a little bit with this thing during the fret leveling or the board leveling process. But now I'm gonna physically, individually, just paying attention to the wood grain as well. If the wood grain was running the other way, I would come from the other side because I don't want any tear outs here. There we go. Like this one here, the wood grain's coming this way, so there we go. That's perfect. Now I just do the process for the whole darn fingerboard. I can still see a couple scratches there. So I'll do it again until it's all done, all gone, all perfect. Good. All right. Let's see. You like the worn out look from the dust. You want to play with my gold? I could take you, well, actually, she's working on it. She's been making pay dirt bags all day. As soon as we put them on the website, they sell out. And then whatever we don't put on the website, see, it's a battle. It's a great problem to have, though. We're always trying to make pay dirt bags, other than impossible bags, because they don't sell very much. The Discovery bags they don't sell that much either. But like the everything other than the Impossible bags and the Discovery bags, we're constantly making bags and putting them online. And as soon as they go online, people get the notifications, they buy them up, and we're always adding more. Because whenever we run out of inventory, we get a notification. Then we have to add more to inventory, physically go and make a couple more. I mean, we're making, she's doing like 50 bags at a time. Like right now she's doing 200 mini crumb bags, and they're already sold. And we still have to ship to Amazon. So I need to hire somebody or something, because she doesn't have any free time. And I mean, I'm not complaining at all. It's a great thing. It's just that we're having trouble keeping up with everything. Because if the pay dirt company starts, interrupting my her cooking time and my mashed potato time, there's going to be some problems. This is too satisfying to not see this. Let me untangle you from the corner. Let me get you in here and show you what's going on. All right. Sorry if I bumped the camera at all. I really don't want to bump the camera. Let's move it over here. You'll have to look at it from this angle. All right. See how it cleans it up perfectly? It's removing all the scratches, all the dirt. You just have to have complete control over that razor blade. Move you up a little bit so you can follow along with the scrapings. Oh yeah. It's a 12th fret, I can tell, because that knot going right there. We'll come back and we'll clean up those edges all at once. Once I get on a roll, I just keep going. And it's very important, if you're here and you're just looking for tips and stuff, it's important that when you're doing this, you want to go all the way to the fret and all the way back to the fret. You don't want to stop in the middle, because then you'll end up with those little chatter marks. So you want to go each direction until it stops. Even if you're chasing a little scratch over here like I was doing. Quite satisfying. You should be here. It's even better. Hold on. Move you. I got to keep you out of my way. I don't want to ruin the shot by banging into the camera, but I still want you to be able to see everything. There we go. See all those scratches? I didn't care about those before. All I wanted to do before was level the board and get the frets in the thing. Now we worry about the scratches. It's just a time saver. And I think you end up with a better result, because you're less tired when you get to this point, because you did less work. Some people take, a lot of time in polishing the fretboard before they even put the frets in. I mean, if you're doing a fretless bass or a fretless guitar or something, then yeah, because, you have no frets to I'm using these frets to my advantage. I'm using them to bang back and forth on. The first and last fret are always the toughest because you have nothing to bang up against. Every other fret you can just blast just like this. All right. Last fret, you have to take your time. It kind of sucks. Same thing with the first fret. I really don't want to be touching clean frets. My fingers, because my fingers are all dirty from that ebony. Yeah, this is what goes into the frets in a guitar neck for a handmade guitar. When you're doing, you know, if you're looking at like a Gibson or any other guitar from a factory, they basically put it in a machine, press a button, and it's all done for them. So next, we just got to clean up these frets. I'll get you a good shot of this at least. You'll be able to see me cleaning up some stuff. I'm sure it's satisfying to look at. It is for me, so. Nope, you can't even see that. And then it's just, you know, the same process for everything. Let's see. I'll just put you here and I'll finish this up, and then we can put some tongue oil on it. And this guitar neck is fretted. Frets usually take an entire day. Especially if I'm doing 10 at a time, it might take 2 days at that point if I went start to finish. This morning, I was messing around with other stuff. Like I said, I went shopping earlier today because she's making pay dirt bags, so she's kind of like locked into the pay dirt thing because we got orders and she's making the bags for the orders right now. Plus, she has to make bags for Amazon, which is a whole day for her. All right. I think we're done. I think. Yeah, we're done. There we go. Oh, I totally forgot. You can see this one's rounded over on the edge. I didn't round over the edges yet. I'll do that after, but you guys just saw me do this one here, I think. Can't even feel. It's really not that much, but so that is how at least I do a fret job on a brand new guitar neck. This is a reverse headstock. I call it the ZD design. Right there, looks kind of like a bird beak or something, but I have it as the reverse. So like this, right? That gives more string tension on the low strings. so I can tune these to a B, like a lower tuning, and I can get a tighter feel on that low string, which is what I like. I have a bunch of other headstock designs too. 6, 7, 8 string. I got that weird thing that I've never actually built. Got the 8 string up there. And yeah, man, that is a completed fret job from start to finish. The only thing, since this is a maple board, the difference between doing the maple board and a zirconi or an ebony board is that on the maple board, obviously it has to be super clean, and they're a little bit tougher to do, but not really, because you can see all the dirt that needs to be cleaned up. And when you're done, you get a really sparkly clean finish. You know, if I seen this at a guitar store, it'd be like, okay, that's awesome. Like you just want to continue feeling this neck. So what am I using for the nut? Good question. So I found this one at a yard sale, but I have a box over here with little pieces. I like to use whitetail deer antler. It's a little inconsistent. It depends on the piece. All right, so like as you can see on the, let me set this down and I'll zoom in for you and hold it steady. On the inside, they're kind of porous, right? But when they're finished, as long as you sand them very smoothly, they don't cause an issue, but they're not as white and clean looking. Let me give you an example here. So I just built this one here. This one here has a whitetail deer antler nut. Okay, you can see it looks gray and dirty, but it's actually very clean and very smooth, right? But it looks just kind of hideous compared to, right? I actually like the look of that. It looks way more natural. However, like on something like this is corian, like countertop material. See, it's just nice and clean and smooth and looks very clean. It looks a little bit cleaner, right? That is corian. Bone is another thing that I can use. I just happen to have a lot of whitetail deer antler. I like how it looks. I like I just like the process of turning these into a guitar. Like it used to be, I mean, same thing with bone too, I guess. Bone used to be a living animal. So are they, but I'm from Pennsylvania. I used to go hunting those when I was a kid. And it's kind of like a nostalgia type thing, I guess. Yeah, man. Sorry about the dust on the camera, but there you go. I have the peg head to 5/8 thick. All right, I've got the necks rough carved. Let's take that off and oh, you're a DuPont certified corian fabricator. Well, I have plenty of corian, man. I got enough here for 1,000 nuts. So I don't need any corian. Unless you got black corian, I guess I could use black. I don't have any of that. Actually, I kind of like the look of the white better. Look at this mess. All right, let's set you back in here. Hey, we're live streaming for 174 minutes. Now it does feel like at least an hour. I got glue all over this thing. All right, let's take this out. Stuck. It doesn't want to leave. It wants to be massaged more. It's like the cat. You know, the cat jumps on your lap, you pet it 3 times and it never leaves. Just wants to be, but okay. So there we go. Oh, the next thing we need to do is install the side dots. So we can do that. We can do that. So this is a pretty good, make it clean this area up for you. Okay. All right. Hey, MJ IRL, have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I needed that after 175 minutes of talking. Okay, I need a pencil, I need a ruler, I need side dot material, 16th inch drill bit. Why did I leave you over here? Yeti, what's up, man? When you have a KleshGuitars tattoo, that you can be #1. That is, Yeti actually has a KleshGuitars tattoo. That, and it's like, what the heck? That's crazy. Oh, I'm out of, I don't have any, we need that sharp pencil. Where's my side dots? Right there. Okay. Okay, we could do either pearl dots, but yeah, you can do that. You can totally do those in maple, but I also like black side dots on maple. So this stuff here is actually, it's just plastic. Right? All right. So it's a 16th inch. Basically, we're going to drill a little hole, put this in there, clip it off, and sand it flat and glue it. Or glue it and then sand it flat. So we need a 16th inch drill bit. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to use the ruler or the pencil. Let's get rid of some of this trash. How about that? All right, so we're going to put dots. We're going to put dots in the 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, and 21. And 24. Whoops. Don't want that to happen. Hold on a second. I need a Clemsia clamp. So, to keep this thing from falling over like it just did, like that, I just put a clamp here. Now it can't fall over. I'm going to set you off to the side. You can watch from there. Get you down a little bit closer. Okay. Alrighty then. Now, I mean, I guess I could use a ruler just to make sure that we're centered up. So the way I do this is I'll take a ruler, and so we need to put a side dot right here in the middle. See, I don't really need a ruler. I can kind of eyeball that. I can tell that right there is the middle. But if we check it to see, let's see how far off I am. Yeah, I'm pretty darn close. I need to go that way just a little bit. We're just going to do this with a 16th inch drill bit. The trick here is to prevent the drill bit from traveling as soon as I turn it on. Right? Pop in a side dot, cut it off. Not flush, just up a little bit, because we still need to tap it with glue, and then we're gonna sand them all flat at once. So you can see, whoops, that's what it looks like. Yes, it's center. I know from that angle it doesn't look centered, but it's centered, right? So there, we're gonna do on a 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 19, 21. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and measure them. I'll just scratch all them all in. I can hear someone with a chainsaw out there. I don't know if it's a Halloween thing or... You guys should see my front yard. I have it all decked out with Halloween stuff. I've got the Lord Raven. I've got spider webs coming down from the roof of the house. Three, 5, 7, 9. 10, 11, 12. That should be the knot. It is. So instead of finding the center here, I'm just going to do an 1/8 inch out from the center for each one. I'm just using the scratch awl to, it'll help the drill bit from traveling too much. It's gonna drift a little bit, but I want to prevent it as much as possible. I would like all of the dots to have the same distance from the walnut to the bottom of the dot on each one. And doing it with a big hand drill like this is not easy, but... And also with maple, it's not repairable. If I mess up, it's gonna be like that. Or it's firewood. So trim it off just a little bit above. Then I can tap it down, make sure it's seated. I'll try 9, 3, 5, 7. Which is no in German. Is that one deep enough? Gotta clean that hole a little bit. There we go. All right. Here's the progress so far. 3, 5, 7, 9. Next up is 12. I can't believe there's still 20 people watching. Thank you. You don't need to drill them too deep. You just need to drill them deep enough. Maybe this top one could go a little bit deeper. But as you can see, you just want them to be as even as possible that you can do with a steady hand. Make sure that the bottom of that dot is as close, is similar to the next one. Try to get them all the same, obviously, but you know, it's not impossible, but it's pretty darn close. Especially on the 12th and 24th fret, those ones are the most difficult because they're so close together. If they don't look the same, if they're not the same distance from from the neck, you're really going to notice it and you're going to not like your work. Okay. Next is 15, 13, 14, 15. We can just eyeball these because you can just tell. 17. Oh. Okay, in between those two, right there. 19. 21. Whoops, that's up too high. Feel like a dentist or something. And 24. This is absolutely the toughest one. It's gotta be the same. All right. Sorry if you froze up there. I just took the scratch awl, punched a hole as even as possible. Yeah, low battery. It's at 20% though. I can't really plug you in over there because you won't be able to see any of this. Not like you can really see too much anyway, but I'm doing my best. We'll just drill these holes, inlay the side dots, and glue them and sand them. Holding my breath right there. All right, they look good to me. Okay. They look pretty darn good. All right. Normally I would do all the necks and then do all of these dots at once. But I'm doing this one here kind of just because I'm live streaming and get more knowledge per minute if I do more things in one video than repetitive processes. All right. 2 more. And last one. There it is. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Also, you should probably do this before you start putting your frets in, just in case you get a drip of glue on your fretboard. That would really not be good. All right, so pretty much I need to clean this up. Where's that razor blade? My glue bottle is jammed up. I know how to fix that. There we go. That'll do it. All right, now I'm just going to tilt it this way a little bit to prevent glue from hitting my nice, fresh fingerboard. Just a drop of glue on each one. It'll wick down in there. It'll hold it fast. And that's it. Now I can spray this with catalyst and we can sand them flat. I'll actually just trim them flush and then we can sand them flat. hope you guys are having a good night. I'm probably going to call it for the evening after I sand these flat. So it was great seeing everybody here. If I missed anybody's comment, just leave. It's like a question and you want me to answer it, just leave a comment in the video itself, not in the chat, but in the comment, because I will read it. And then I'll be able to answer your question. Let's clamp off of here. Get off of there. Okay. Here we go. So pretty much I'm just doing this. Just sanding them flat, sanding them flush. I can't do it at that angle though. I need to do it over here. Here we go. This is another reason you want to do it before you put your frets in. Do it like right after you level your board. Because right now, I'm going over it with this sandpaper, and if I accidentally nick these frets, I have to redo my frets. And I think we're good. I'll go ahead and show this off, and then we're going to call it for the night. You can see the side dots there. A little bit of super glue here from installing the frets. Any kind of little dirtiness, I'm going to be cleaning that up once I sand it and finish sanding. But what you want to look for is the distance of the dots to the neck and the consistency of it for every dot. So there you go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read comments and we'll call her. So let me get you on the computer here, because it's just easier to scroll on the computer. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, definitely do so. That helps the YouTube algorithm decide if this video is going to be shown to other people. If you found it useful. If not, then don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and read comments. Can you guys see? It's a little blurry. Sorry. All right. I thought so. I was pretty sure he uses his own music. No, I do not use my own music anymore on my YouTube channel. That's from a band called Other Ear. His name's Craig, and he's out in Arkansas. And he writes the guitar stuff for my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel. Have you seen his gold room? I can take you to see the gold room. I've purchased a lot of your pay dirt. Awesome. Hire me. Where do I apply? It was my first pay dirt ever. It's like watching people clean their carpets on YouTube, says Peas Doc. I've seen that too. I like it too. Chris Hale, how fun would that be? 20 folks standing around drinking beer in your workshop. That would be awesome. I wouldn't get any work done though. I'd be drinking beer too. MJ says, yes, Spencer, I've seen a lot of his videos. He was the first person I started watching, then I found the rest of the community. That's awesome. Hey, all right. Oh, we're way back there. Okay, let me scroll down a bit. Mud SWAT, cool stream. Yeah, I'll do more live streams. I could definitely just fire the camera up or the phone and just set it there. The only thing that sucks, I can't listen to music, which does help me stay focused and work. Um, yeah, cool, man. Yes, I'm glad I'm building again too. Took a lot to build this place. Yeah, black Korean nut with black side dots on maple would look nice. I agree. Slap a string on it, it'll make it sound. It'll make it sound nice. Have you ever made a bass? Yeah, I've made hundreds of basses. If you look up MTD custom basses, Michael Tobias Design, I used to work there. I was his last apprentice. I was Michael Tobias's last apprentice. I worked there between 2004 and 2009 up in Woodstock, New York. And I built a lot. I built a lot of those basses. I pretty much did all uh, the donkey work, cutting the bodies out, gluing them together, doing all the sanding, finish sanding, a lot of the spraying. And Michael did pretty much all of the setups at the end. So after the bass was built, it would go over to Michael and his bench. Oh, and he would also carve the necks. So I didn't do any of the neck carving there. I did do a lot of the roundovers and taking the meat off, but I routed all the cavities. I did pretty much everything except for putting the electronics in it, carving the neck, putting the strings on it, and tuning it up and shipping it out the door. Michael did all the ordering for all the wood, obviously. He did all the customer relations. I was just a grunt there working, putting bases together. But I learned a lot in those couple years. We need a live dose of Klesh once a week. That's doable. Was I able to save any of your old gear? Yeah, so let me show you guys. So this was not stolen. This is original from Pennsylvania, right? But I built it too. It's not like I purchased it. I didn't lose any money from this. This is a second one. I had one just like this. It was stolen. I had a bandsaw that was stolen, a smaller one, a Reliant bandsaw. What else? This is original from Pennsylvania, my pencil sharpener here. This pencil sharpener is from Pennsylvania. I built this platen when I had my repair shop. This is how I make nuts and saddles and just a lot of the smaller handwork and stuff like that. This is new. All these big machines are new. The drill press, the dust collector, the air compressor. A lot of these templates are new, but some of them are from Pennsylvania. This fret slotting jig for the table saw, that is new. I purchased that. Hey, I should do some more painting. This is all my oil painting stuff. It's kind of just sitting in a box. I really want to start doing that again. I do have some paintings up here that are just, just kind of sitting there. They're not that good, so I didn't publish them or post them or put them up for sale or anything like that. They're kind of bad. This is original. They didn't steal this. These little containers are original. This and this. This they didn't steal. They didn't steal my CDs. I guess nobody wants CDs anymore, so they were all over the place, but they didn't take them, at least. This toolbox was up in my apartment, so that didn't get stolen. This was also in the apartment. I had a big yellow toolbox that had a bunch of tools in it, like little hand tools and files and all kinds of stuff. That got stolen, and that was expensive. That was like all these things, these little hand tools and files and all that, these, weird little tools and stuff. All this stuff was taken. A lot of my router bits are original. They didn't get those. This I found at a yard sale a couple weeks ago, which is awesome. yeah, you know, it's just buying stuff back and rebuilding from from the ground up, you know. Where was it stolen from inside the shop? It was a storage unit at my old apartment in Golden, Colorado. So if anybody in that Golden, Colorado area notices any kind of little files or a planer that looks just like this or a blue Reliant bandsaw, that was me. So that's my stuff. Anyway, that's been 200 minutes of live streaming. It's nothing compared to my coin roll hunting live streams. Those, you know, eventually maybe I may start doing that again, but I have much more important work to do than playing with coins. You can see this fret job here. This is what we did during the show. Perfectly level, perfectly shiny. Yeah, that's just buttery smooth. The next step for this neck, really, I already have it fitted to the body. The next step is to actually carve the neck, because right now it's just rough carved on the belt sander. Now I got to take it and actually carve it so it's smooth and round and perfect. You can see down there how it's not perfect or nothing. So we'll set that over at the sanding station. I'll get that ready to sand out for finish. And I'm gonna go eat. Hopefully it's done. It's 7 o'clock. And tomorrow I think I'm gonna turn the lights off here and finish up for the night. Tomorrow I'll start on these guys. And that's all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up on your way out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.